Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dychronic here on this Destiny 2 video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Destiny 2 weekly reset for May 4th, 2021. But yeah, welcome to the last week of the season. If you didn't know, it's the last week of Season 13. So you got 6 days and 23 hours to complete everything that you want from this current season. Now, there are a couple things that will actually be going away. Most things should be sticking around until the end of the year, as they have said before. Obviously, firstly, the triumphs. If anything says in Season of the Chosen or in Season 13 specifically, they may be going away. Although Battlegrounds might be sticking around, to be honest. Beyond that, we recently got a new trailer that released that was a bit of a preview trailer for next season. I have watched it, and I will not spoil it, but personally, I didn't really get that excited from it. Please let me know in the comments down below what you thought of the trailer. And lastly, before we get started, we actually have increased Infamy this week, so if you wanted to get Infamy resets or just Infamy stuff, it's available this week. Right, moving on with the weekly reset, starting up with the Nightfall Ordeal. This week it's going to be Arms Dealer. It's going to be the Cabal mission with the Chartreuse boss at the end, the one that's very well known for being one of the easiest Grandmasters in the game. As far as 100k goes, I would recommend Legend. I believe it's one of those missions that you finish well before the time limit for the points thing, so Hero may not be possible because of that. And the current Nightfall unique weapon is going to be the Shadow Price, and this is the last opportunity to get an Adept Shadow Price because it's going to be going away, or at least the Adept pool will be changing next season. The rotating burn this week is going to be Arc Singe. The rotating Crucible playlist is going to be Mayhem. I like Mayhem. I think you should play Mayhem. Mayhem good. Mayhem good. Mayhem yes, Mayhem good. Moving on to Europa. First up for the Empire Hunt, we have the Dark Priestess. For the simulation, we have Survival, which is going to be the one where you're just running and it's cold. For the DSC Raid Challenge this week, it's going to be Red Rover, taking place in the first encounter of the raid, and in this encounter, every single person has to do the operator buff at least once by shooting a panel down below. So get the red buff on every single person, shoot 2 panels down below, trade it up for somebody else. Moving on to the Moon stuff, first up for the Nightmare Hunts, we have the Fanatic, we have the Crota, and we have Fogoth. Fogoth being the easiest. And I just happened to notice it, the Legend Lost sector this week is going to be on Arm. Moving on to the Garden Salvation Raid Challenge, we have To the Top, taking place in the third encounter of the raid. The encounter you actually kill the Harpy boss, and in this encounter, anytime you dunk motes, you have to dunk all 10 at once. So instead of doing 5, 10, 10, 5, you have to do 10, 10, 10. The strategy here is just send someone early. Whenever you link up that initial to start the encounter, you have the buff. Send that person early. Up next, we have Eververse's inventory, obviously showing off the last available items for the Guardian games and the current season. Starting up, we have the high score one, where you just pull out a 9.8, 9, or 10, just for the high score stuff. You also have this Sparrow, which I believe was available last year, but I can't remember. You have a transmit effect in the Cherry Blossoms, which I actually really like. You also have this Abyssian Gold shader, which I'll take your word for it, Bungie. I just don't see any gold on anything here. Keeping in mind, if you don't know or you haven't noticed, there's actually going to be a revamp to the shader system. TLDR, they're changing the way shaders work, so get at least one of every shader that you can, and then you unlock them, and then it'll be better. For the other Bright Dust section, first of all, we have the Just Juggling, which is literally you just juggling a football on your feet, on your knees, and it's an infinite emote from whatever I can tell. You also have the Faithful Pledge, which is just holding a sword saying, "I pledge my honor to thee, Dychronic of Cutelandia. Cute animals on screen whenever you pledge, yes." Also have the stuffed ghost shell, which I think is absolutely adorable. It's literally modeled after like a little stuffed toy, which is, I'm really tempted, but I need to save my Bright Dust. We have the Frontrunner ship, which looks like one of those little butter knife things you use to open letters. I think they're called letter openers. Wow, that was good. I like that. We also have the Vi for Glory, which has this nice little red trail out the back. And come to think of it, is this red because I'm on Titan right now? Because that would be dope if this shader actually changed colors because of that. We also have the 1, 2, which you're counting on your fingers. I'm assuming it's a reference that I just don't get. We have the Ghost projection for the Warlocks. We have this little spinny boy transmit effect. We have the fireworks coming in. We have the Traveler's Wake. Oh, that was really bright. We also have some shaders across here. The Coastal Suede. Keep in mind that Titans definitely shade very differently than Hunters and Warlocks. So what you see here may not look the same on yours. We also have the Melchizedek Bramble, which if you can tell me how you pronounce this other than Melchizedek Bramble, please let me know. I do like this on weapons and armors. I would personally recommend. Source Modular Shine works on a lot of different weapons and some armor pieces, but it's a little bit weird. This is definitely a good base game one. And finally, we have Golden Trace. Used to use this back in the day when we had very little options for gold, but we have a lot of better options in my opinion. And Carbon Fiber always looks weird and purple. I never really liked it in this game. Birds! Birds! As for Hawthorne's inventory for the weekly raid challenge for the Last Wish raid, gonna be Keep Out, taking place in the 4th encounter of the raid during the Vault encounter, and in this encounter do not let any of the Yellow Health Knights into the center circle area. I don't know why that was hard to say, took me like 7 tries. And finally, for the War Table mods, obviously there are 2 mods a week, and there are 6 mods total. First up, we have the Elemental Ordnance, which is using a grenade to get an elemental well of the particular type, and then the other one's Elemental Charge, the bridge between elemental wells and getting Charge of Light, which I think this is going to be the more important one if you can only get one, but obviously I would recommend both. I've used both in many builds. Maybe not many, but in a few builds, yes, in a few builds. Yeah. I have build videos, by the way, if you want to see those builds on my channel. It's a great ad, great ad, great ad. And that's going to be pretty much the end of the video. Obviously, we have cute animals on screen. I definitely want to do these a lot more. I used to do them a lot more back in the day and kind of forgot about them. But I do like them. Also, having a live stream right after this video, as well as all the times you can see on screen right now. So come check it out. We're going to be doing some Grandmaster open lobby carries. We're going to be doing some raids, pinnacles, oftentimes just a lot of open lobbies. To come join us and have some fun. And of course, a big thank you to my patrons on Patreon for helping me make all this stuff possible. Specifically, I want to give a big thank you to Medi Boudou, Mom, Dad, Charles Williams, Dr. Strange, Joe Smith, Monday, Daniel Hopkins, Steve Bachmanis, Justin R. Raymond Sherman, Nino Panther, Cole Sherman, Casey Reagan for their support on Patreon. My name's Dychronic, and I'll see you guys on the next one.